Yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? Yo, I just got off the clock. Man, I'm out at this new job that I'm at, man. They told me I gotta work Saturdays, like they do Saturdays up here. To my knowledge, it's every week. And that's always been a deal breaker for me. Saturdays and my facial hair having to be cut. That's always been a deal breaker to me. So I was like, fuck it, I can't allow that to be the case. So I'm gonna just have to bite the bullet. I'm gonna just have to take the L. So I'm already mentally prepared to come in on Saturday. I set my alarm for yesterday. And now, mind you, they told me we accepted your schedule Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. So I'm like, they ain't gonna honor it. Because someone said, oh man, you got Saturdays off too, so you got a schedule like that? They said, no, he working Saturdays. I'm like, fuck. So I wanted to talk to him about it. But I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna be that dude. You feel me? Hopefully they'll approach me about it. And we'll talk about it then. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna have to take an L on this one. I'm mentally prepared to go in tomorrow. I set my alarm. And he says, you off on Saturdays, right? I was like, yes. I'm like, but I don't want to be that dude, so I can do 2 Saturdays a month, man. But yeah, man. That's neither here nor there, man. We gotta rap about this shit, man. This is a non-boxing topic, man. We gotta rap about this billboard list, man. Look, man, I am all about the preservation of hip hop culture. That's what I'm gonna die on that hill. I'm gonna die on that hill. I just feel like there still needs to be certain guidelines that are followed within within this art form, even on a mainstream level. Because rap music is the focal point of the culture. You dig? It's the leader of the culture. It's the spearhead of the culture in the now. Because it's so much easier to market and get out to the masses that it's also become the most diluted and watered down and stepped on. And it's the most disrespected the most disrespected element within the culture, because you don't even have to be nice within it to be successful within it. That's just real unacceptable to me, man. But I was just looking at this list, or I've been seeing this list, this top 100 rappers or whatever, man. And man, look, for Drake and Nicki Minaj to be anywhere near somebody's top 10 is just, oh my God, that shit is just disgusting to me, man. There were certain guidelines and principles that that this culture was cultivated on, and biting was cardinal sin number 1. You could get your ass beat, killed, robbed, shot, stabbed, anything, any nefarious act could fuck around and happen to you if you came into a function, and even from all aspects within the culture. If you was a whack b-boy or someone they knew you was biting somebody's moves, you'd fuck around and get fucked around. If you was, if your DJing skills was whack, it wasn't up to par. They knew you was, you were spinning already organized sets that from another DJ that everybody heard before at a party. You'd be, you could be administered pain behind that. You know what I'm saying? If you was taking credit for people's hit-ups, their bombs, when they would bomb the trains, you would take credit for that, you would be subject to an ass beating. If you were a whack rapper at any point in time, or niggas knew motherfuckers you didn't write your rhymes, you would be lambasted for it. It's the reason why the Sugar Hill Gang don't get fucking, they don't nobody give a fuck about no Rapper's Delight. Because once word got out, yo man, they biting cash. You get no passes off of that. You get no, bro, no, you out of there. So for somebody like Drake, who is known to have a ghostwriter, for him to be put that high on a list is just nasty to me. That shit is disgusting. You got a nigga at number 1 who doesn't even write his own raps. I'm really having a hard time understanding how that's acceptable. Because in this era, and then with where hip hop is at, and they've pulled rap music so far away from the you know, the roots and the foundation that it was cultivated on, to where it's about everything else other than skill. Who's selling the most? Who's marketable? Who makes the better music? I just think certain customs need to be held sacred, man, and this is one of them. This is definitely one of them, man. We cannot afford to allow this culture to go by the wayside and be violated and disrespected in the way that it is, because it's disrespected. It's a disrespected culture. Nobody, like, just, even when you look at basketball players, there are some talented basketball players who may not be at an NBA level, but they can play overseas. Or look at what all these YouTube influencers are doing. That shit is dope. They popping, all these leagues is popping up. These cats is living off of their talent. They're traveling the world. They're traveling the country, doing what it is that they love to do. And they're not gimmicky. They are incredible ball players. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, why does hip hop, rap in particular, have to be the culture where you don't even have to be solid within the culture in order to be successful within it? And that leads to, that takes so many different avenues of fuckery to take place. Nicki Minaj and Drake at number 10. No, I can't stand Lil Wayne, dog. Like, but I can't be mad at him at number 10. I can't be, you dig? I can't be. I can't be. But Drake and Nicki Minaj, the nerve of anybody to put Drake up there when he does not even write his own, he don't even write his verses. That is unacceptable to me, fam. Like, I can't shake that. I can't shake that. I don't see how anybody can sit there and be accepting of that. We just why is it that our culture has to be diluted and stepped on and disrespected and completely isolated away from the customs that it was created on, bro? What in the entire fuck? Where a nigga could be mentioned as a top 10 rapper amongst a sea of rappers, though. How do you beat out Black Thought? How are you mentioned as a top 10 rapper and Black Thought isn't? Jada isn't. Busta isn't. Scarface isn't. Andre 3000 isn't. Twista isn't. We can go on and on and on. Common isn't. Nobody from Wu. Nobody. Snoop Dogg. Well, I think Snoop Dogg was top 10. But Corrupt, Razzcast, Bun B. I'm covering. There are so many different rappers from all four regions that you can mention far before you mention a Drake. Far before. And we bring Drake in at number 10. And that's acceptable. I can't shake that. I can't shake that. I cannot shake that, because I think that's a crime against the culture. When you have somebody who is a known biter, and he may a known biter, and you still elevate him to a top 10 spot over incredible lyricists. Styles P, Luda, T.I. What the fuck? How does Drake get, how? Fam, you do not write your music. You do not write your music. But you're number 10? Really? Really? And it's to be accepted because of how successful he is within music. And I'm just like, yo, that shit is, I don't like that. That bothers my soul. That bothers me, because there is a list of, it just, we just get further. Rap in particular, on a mainstream level, and even on a battle rap level, it's getting further and further away from the customs that it was created on. You can't do that. The minute you start doing that shit, you allow fuck shit to happen. The floodgates open for fuckery, and next thing you know, your culture ain't even, you're not even dominant in your culture no more. When you look at b-boy culture, not even just b-boy, just dance culture in general. You go to these functions, we're the minority in cultures that we create, in a culture we created. I can't count that many b-boys. I can't count that many black b-boys. I can't. Maybe it's something that I'm not seeing, but they pale in comparison to like the Asians and the Europeans. They pale in comparison. So I'm like that. That's what happens when, you know, just everything is not meant to be accepted within hip hop culture. It's supposed to be gate kept. And when you don't gatekeep shit, this is what happens. Drake is a top 10 rapper. Drake, a nigga who does not write his own lyrics, bro. That shit is. That shit would never be acceptable. That shit would never be acceptable. I'm from like, I get a lot of flack because, oh man, you know, you old niggas. I'm him. I'm him, and I'm unapologetic about it. I'm from the era where hip hop was pure. The culture was pure. It was undeniable. It was pure. It was pure. You had to be nice. Everybody wants to be compensated for their talent. I'm not mad at that, but they was also trying to be the best who ever did it. It was originality, man. People was sitting down and really contemplating what words they was gonna put together, and trying to be, even look at someone like Freeway and how unique his style is. Think about how unique that shit is. Unique right there. His rhyme scheme. He'd start like, he wouldn't end the bar with the word that, you know, rhymed. He wouldn't end the second bar with a word that from the he would, how I want to explain it. The last word of his first bar didn't rhyme with the last word of his second bar. He'd rhyme the word from the first and the third bar. Think about that. That's unique, and he was dope. That's unique in itself. That's originality. Nobody wants to do, like, bro, it's no sense of individualism, man. It's none of that shit nowadays, man. Niggas just get out of, like, come on, man. Drake a top 10 rapper, bro, and he doesn't even write his own raps. We gotta get, man, listen, man, we gotta get back to culture. We have to get back. Stop letting people repackage and repackage a culture that your people created and sell it back to you. Stop doing that shit. Anybody who will ride with Drake being the GOAT is a nigga that's completely out of his motherfucking mind. Anybody. There's no way it should be. It shouldn't even be fathomed that somebody who doesn't even write their raps, and not even, it's not like he hides it. It's out there that, yo, he don't write his raps. He don't write his raps. But this man is still being rewarded and recognized and revered for the music that he makes. That is so disrespectful to the culture, bro. That is so disrespectful to this beautiful culture we call hip hop. Because shit like that should never be tolerated. It was never accepted at a point in time. If you had a ghostwriter, you was not getting the pass. You was not getting the pass. And now it's just acceptable, man. Oh man, oh, he don't write it. Well, he got the look. When do we get out of market? Oh man, just take away from the business aspect of it. Take away from the business aspect of it, and just look at just the raw talent and how the, you know, the customs of the culture. I was just talking, you know, it's a lot of people saying, you know, it's a lot of people, you know, giving Eminem flack. I've been real critical of Eminem for, you know, on just social issues these past few years. After he released that Revival track, it was what happened? I remember some of my people, when I first stepped into consciousness, it was certain people, I'm like, nah, Eminem wouldn't do that. Eminem wouldn't do that. It was like, he has an album coming out. I guarantee you he's using this as a promotion for his album. When he performed on the BET Awards and he had a sea of black faces, and he was having like this real, you know, it was real spoken word and poetic, you know, deaf poetry type vibe and the cypher shit or whatever, the freestyle shit that he did. And it was like, he's doing this to promote his album. He talking this Trump shit. He's talking this Trump shit, and he got all black people behind him. Man, he doing that to promote his album. I'm like, he don't got to do that. And sure enough, he did that. And ever since then, I've been extremely critical of him from a social standpoint. And I've even got to a point where I'm like, yeah, because I've always, you know, I was a dude who can ride to his music because of how incredible of a writer he was. But you know, like, I'm like, I understand why. I get why you say you can't fuck with his music. I get it now. I get it. Because to me, I was always a dude who was about lyricism. That's all that mattered to me. Just lyricism. So now I get why people was like, I can't ride to that. I get it. I genuinely get it. I genuinely get it. Straight up and down, I get it. I most definitely get it. I get it. But I'm seeing a lot of people like, oh man, like, you can't pay me to listen to Eminem in the car. And I'm like, I had to tell somebody, I'm like, y'all have to take rap. Y'all got to stop relegating rap to the booth and making music, because it was a whole arena that it existed in long before somebody decided to take the shit to the studio and start counting bars and making productions specifically for rappers, hip hop beats. It was a whole new arena. Like, you can't put rap music in a box, because honestly, there's people who make more receptive music than Eminem because of the content. There is. So you can't just say, oh man, rap, man. The minute you say rap, you go right to music. People, man, you can't see me. You wouldn't catch me dead riding around to no Eminem. I'm not mad at that. But when we're talking on skills, there's no way you can sit here and tell me that he's not a top 5 lyricist ever. I don't care about. I don't give a fuck about how much you don't like his music. I don't care about that. I understand it, but like once again, it's, you know, hip hop is bigger than rap music. The culture doesn't stop. It didn't start, nor will it end with rap music. And even if you want to go on rap music, you have to take into consideration that there's a whole arena outside of the studio that rap music existed in. We called it the cipher. You know what I'm saying? A lot of battle rappers from the past, they didn't make the best music, but they were incredible MCs. So if you're gonna sit here and tell me Drake is better than Eminem because he makes the music that's more appealing to the masses, you have an opinion that I just can't hold valid. I can't. We gotta get to a point where we take our culture back and be unapologetic about it. You cannot repackage my culture and try to sell it back to me. You can't do that. I'm not gonna allow that to happen. It won't work on me, because I'm smart enough to know, nah, he ain't one of them. He's not one of them. So stop playing games, man. Just, if you got Drake top 10 and Nicki Minaj top 10 over a Lauryn Hill, I don't give a fuck about the amount of music that she put out in comparison to what Lauryn Hill did. If you got Nicki Minaj over Lauryn Hill, Rap City, Little Kim, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. You're out of your fucking mind. Do not tell me about no goddamn Nicki Minaj being no top 10 rapper. Do not tell me about no Drake being no top 10 rapper. He don't even write his fucking raps. Skill. This is how I know with a lot of these cats. Skill is a second. It's a distant criteria as opposed to being the pinnacle of a criteria. Skill isn't as important as who can sell more. How many records did he sell? How many records he got? Is he relevant? I hate when people say that shit. Is he relevant? Is he relevant? Is he relevant? He not relevant right now. Motherfucker, Michael Jackson been dead since 2009. There's never gonna be nobody as relevant as Michael Jackson. Ever. Fuck is niggas talking about? Fuck is you talking about, bro? So if Drake is a nigga who you have as a top 10 lyricist of all time, a top 10 rapper, you're just an opinion that I just can't take serious. And I'm just going to completely shoo you off like, I can't trust you. What is the GOAT? How are you the GOAT without writing your own lyrics? How is that GOAT worthy? The GOAT, right? The GOAT. The GOAT, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I just... This is why I'm serious about my culture. This is why I'm serious about gatekeeping my culture. So we don't get fuck-ups like this. And this is a fuck-up. Shame on anybody who would propagate that bullshit. Any billboard, any magazine, anything that would condone this fuck shit. I just... You gotta go. You gotta move around from me. And I'm banging that shit. And that's just what it is with me, man. Long live hip-hop. Take back your culture. Stop letting these motherfuckers repackage and resell that shit to you. You can't resell me something that you don't even know what it is. Deuces.